CJAD 800, an iHeart radio station.
You get there too? Freaking out. Why now?
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Jason Mayoff with a CTV News update. A mix of sun and cloud today. It's 26 downtown, but it feels like 30. Weather details in
I want to
minutes.
know
Here's
who the
what's
fuck
making
that
news
was.
right now. Another loss for Justin Trudeau after this week's by-election.
That was crazy.
A city councillor responds to allegations
Yeah, it's
he
coming down.
billed taxpayers for peanut butter and a $1,000 watch. And how fast this motorcyclist was going to get a $2,000 ticket on to carry.
On to carry.
With the latest from the CJAD 800
Yo, you'll
traffic
fucking
center,
go
here's
flying.
Lord Glazer.
We're seeing
That is the dumbest place you can go speed. Just saying.
For southbound the carry starts at the top, runs out to La Rondre on southbound 15. Earlier on, a truck lost some earth, and the cleanup process is still taking up the right side. Westbound side of the 20, delays there between Turcotte and Norman. On the eastbound side of the 20, it does have delays as well between Ville St. Pierre and Turcotte. Southbound 13 losing some time, Notre Dame to the B-Zone Bridge, again between the airport tunnel and Autoroute 20. On the westbound side of the Met, volume there between La Cordaire and Saint Laurent. The Mazda CX-30 with its standard I-Active all-wheel drive is waiting for you at your Mazda dealer.
That's
Enjoy
fucking
exceptional
crazy.
offers during the Mazda Find Out event.
It's a BMW.
Every 15 minutes on CJAD 800. Your next report at 2:15.
In the news, after losing the longtime stronghold of LaSalle et Verdun this week, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is about to lose a prominent member of his cabinet. Transport Minister in Quebec, Lieutenant Pablo Rodriguez, is going to announce tomorrow that he's in the running for the leadership of the Quebec Liberal Party. Political analyst and former Quebec Liberal Cabinet Minister David Hertel says Rodriguez will automatically become a frontrunner.
This really jumpstarts the race. It's going to be very long. Of course, the actual Liberal leadership 14th, 2025. So a lot of politics until then. This is a major announcement.
Why?
This really transforms the race and makes.
But they've had no leader for like 3 years.
The other frontrunner, he says, is Charles Milliard, the head of the Quebec Federation of Chambers of Commerce. Former Montreal Mayor Denis Coderre and Montreal MNA.
Yeah, we know Denis Coderre. Everyone knows Denis Coderre.
Leadership of the Liberal Party.
God, let the fucking poor men go for a fucking walk.
Swedish ambassador concerning Northvolt. Northvolt is building an electric car battery plant in Quebec and recently scaled back its operations worldwide. The Swedish government this week refused to offer Northvolt any help. A Laval City Councillor is responding to allegations he billed taxpayers for groceries, electronics, furniture, and more. Paul Galati says any reimbursements he's asked for from the city have been made with the aim of supporting his duties and in compliance with Laval's city rules. He's asking that his expenses be reviewed and approved, and he says he'll pay back any that are unjustified. Le Journal de Montréal says Galati was reimbursed for groceries at Costco, including Nutella, honey, and peanut butter, a sofa bed, and a $1,000 Apple Watch. Journalists at the scene in Lebanon say multiple explosions have gone off at the site of a funeral for 3 Hezbollah members and a child killed by exploding pagers yesterday. Today's walkie-talkie explosions killed 1 person and wounded more than 100 others. At a news conference in Cairo, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. is calling for calm.
We've been very clear, and we remain very clear about the importance of all parties.
Sorry, I'm bug on you.
Any steps that could further escalate the conflict that we're trying to resolve in Gaza.
Pagers used by Hezbollah exploded nearly simultaneously yesterday in Lebanon and Syria, killing at least 12 people and wounding about 2,800
Like,
others.
what the fuck is wrong with you,
Motorcyclist
honestly?
from St. Eustache has been handed a more than $2,000 speeding ticket after getting pulled over for excessive speeding in Montreal. The SQ says the 22-year-old man was clocked doing 185 in a 70 zone on DeCarry South Tuesday morning, just before 5. In addition to the $2,100 fine, he also got 24 demerit points and had his license suspended
24 demerit points? A week?
And other audio, go to CJAD800.com or download the iHeart.
A week?
Dormez-vous Weather Center.
Oh, I'm
forecast
so mad right now.
Sun and clouds today, the high 28. Partly cloudy tonight, the low 16.
For not
And
having
mix of sun
my
and clouds
lights
tomorrow, the
on.
high 28. It's 26 downtown, but it feels like 30.
I am literally warranted as if I'm a fucking criminal for parking tickets. And they pulled me over because I didn't have my lights on in the daytime.
Conditioning specialists for over 70 years. They service all brands, no matter who put them in. 514-333-7460.
And you know what? He gave me 2 tickets. Neither were for that.
Of intuitive technology, the comfort of
So.
luxurious Scandinavian design, and the peace of mind that comes with innovative safety, all during the Volvo Experience event. Lease the fully electric Twins 24 Volvo C40 from $279 bi-weekly for 48 months with government incentives. And discover for yourself why driving a Volvo is an experience like no other.
185 in a 70. And only for a fucking week.
This cordless drill goes in the recycling bin, right? Well, worst case, they'll throw it away the sorting center. Yeah, worst case. Worst case, it'll get crushed in the back of the truck. And worst case, the lithium from the battery will be exposed to the air, causing it to ignite and blow up. So worst case, it could start a fire in the sorting center, damage the equipment, and injure the employees. So yeah, worst case. It couldn't hurt to check. What you put in the bin has an impact.
Fucking garbage.
Containers, packaging, printed paper.
Those parking
A
tickets.
message from Bin
Should you not?
Impact, the new reference for curbside
Warranted for
recycling.
my arrest.
News, conversation, the latest weather, and road reports. It's all here on Montreal.
And it's like, how the
Now
fuck am I
with
supposed to pay
Aaron Rand.
tickets if you take away my car and I can't go to work? Like,
Anybody remember these guys?
no.
Wilson Phillips.
This is terrible.
September #1 songs. This was the #1 song
In the 80s.
1990. I just checked.
Oh,
because
perfect.
My question was, hey, where are Wilson Phillips? They still around? So they recorded something apparently 2022, but I haven't heard anything since. So.
And it's
is a good
this.
song. Remember this?
This is really terrible.
Yeah. I mean, it's no REO Speedwagon D, but it's not bad. So
That's the trick.
welcome to Wednesday. Are we Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Is today? It is. You sure?
Woo!
Yep, okay. Welcome to Wednesday. Yeah, it is September. In case you're keeping score, September the 18th. Another absolutely beautiful day, and apparently it's staying this way right through to Friday. So you can't ask for a better week than we've had weather-wise. Just heard the story. A couple of things in the news. So let me get to them off the top. First of all, the real news. Pablo Rodriguez, the Quebec lieutenant, he's the Minister of Transport, by the way, as well, has done what everybody thought he would do, which is reveal that he will, in fact, run for leadership of the Provincial Liberal Party, which I guess makes him an odds-on favorite right out of the box, right? Or right out of the gate, as they say. The announcement apparently will be made officially tomorrow, but Robert Fife of the Globe and Mail managed to get the story earlier today, so it looks like it's a done deal. So there you go. That's the latest name. This is interesting because, of course, I wonder what this means to people who've already put their name in. When you get a high-profile guy like a federal minister, do you say to yourself, I don't have a hope in hell of winning? Do you decide, yeah, maybe I shouldn't run? We'll see. 4 other people now, including Denny Kader, still in the race. And it's interesting, too. I thought to myself when I heard the announcement today that Pablo Rodriguez is running. And by the way, he's also the minister with the best hair. Got an amazing set of locks. If I ever get him and I want to know what he uses to maintain, that's incredible. I said to myself, here's a guy, his federal ministry there, and he's going to have to step away from this, obviously, give up his ministerial title. He's the Minister of Transport.
Probably not.
Which, let's go back a little ways and remember when Omar Al-Jabra was I call him that because it's just easier. Omar Al-Jabra was the Minister of Transport. You remember all the hassles going on, people suing airlines left and right, complaining about, leaving, never getting refunds, that happened under the Ministry of Transport. Omar Al-Jabra eventually, was sort of removed. Whatever the polite way of saying that is.
Fired.
Given another file. And they put Pablo Rodriguez in this role. And things have not, from what I understand, and we talk to people like John Braddock every now and then, things have not gotten better in transport. We know the
Right,
line
no one
of,
ever gets
people waiting
fired.
to get money back from airlines in this country.
People
It's
get to just
longer
stay
and
home and get
longer
paid
and longer.
anyway.
So much so that some of the advice sometimes is instead of going through the official protest, right, and filing with the Canadian Transport Agency, it's a small claims court. Yes, it will cost you maybe a bit of money, but you have a better chance of winning there than waiting for who knows how long, months, maybe years, before your case gets heard or resolved.
So we should see. I wonder if that comes up in a. I guess it won't.
Same with North Dakota.
So you're the Minister of Transport. What a mess you left that filing. That won't come up. No, it's just internal. This is inside the Liberal Party. Anyway, that's the news today. We were trying to get Pablo Rodriguez, of course, on the show. We've asked. He might come on tomorrow. He might not, but he might. We've been asking for a while now, so we'll see. In addition, the other story I just heard Jason talking about it off the top of the hour. Did you hear that guy, the motorcyclist who got a $2,000 speeding ticket?
Mm-hmm.
Driving on the Cary Expressway.
Yeah, guess what? He gets to keep his fucking license, though.
I think that's what Jason said.
Fucking bullshit.
My first reaction was, how could you possibly do 190 on the Cary Expressway?
That's what I was saying. How the fuck?
There's no, but he did.
You'll go, if you hit a pothole, you'll fucking die. You'll go airborne.
He said, Jason's story, I think, said this happened at around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I'm thinking there's absolutely, you'd have to be driving between cars, or what, on the shoulder of the Cary Expressway to even be able to go that fast. So did he mean 4 or 5 in the morning, or did he mean 4 or 5 in the afternoon? Either way, this young man, or gentleman, I don't know how old he is.
I am so angry about this story about the guy speeding and gets his 1 week suspension. Are you serious? Yesterday, I got pulled over on my way to work, and I found out that I have warrants for my arrest over parking tickets when I was homeless for not having my lights on in the daytime. I didn't even know that was a law, first of all. So now they took away all my stuff again, and luckily did not get arrested.
So 190, yes, obviously.
Like, I'd super appreciate if anyone could explain to me how I'm supposed to pay my tickets and give the government all my money if they take away my license and they take away my car. I've never had a speeding ticket, they're all parking tickets from one bad neighbor, one jerk neighbor whose father is part of the mafia. So that I did not know. But now my life is ruined forever because I'm forever just going to owe the government money for parking tickets, and now they want to arrest me. So that's fun.
So that's in the news today as well. What else is going on? Oh, if you missed it yesterday, Valerie Plante was on the show quite late.
Oh, really?
After 5:30 news to replay some of that interview just after 3 o'clock, and there's been a reaction to that.
Yeah, because why have none of you played it yet?
Specifically with reference to, and this didn't come till the end of the interview, but it's kind of a running gag here on the show. Anytime I have the mayor on, regardless of what we're talking
Cavendish.
about, I will conclude the interview by asking her about Cavendish.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, the answer's always been this.
For sure.
Right. Always that's the answer. Until yesterday.
Where are you going?
Changed. So be listening for that. That's coming up just after 3 o'clock. Right? We'll hear the mayor then. And then later in the show today, we're going to play back an interview from earlier in the show yesterday, because I thought this was just so great. We rarely do this kind of thing. A musician by the name of Stefan Macchio, who's a Quebecer, but has been living and performing and working in LA for the longest time. As I said in the interview, he's a local boy that makes great music. He's written for Miley Cyrus, for Celine Dion, The Weeknd. I mean, the guy's a superstar. But first and foremost, he's a pianist, right? That's his thing. He plays the piano. He composes. He's coming to Montreal, I think 3 dates. He's going to be in Quebec, rather, for 3 dates, beginning of October. And I think the date in Montreal for the show is October 3rd, and I want to be at that show. I listened to part of his new album yesterday, and I think I use the word mesmerizing because that's what this kind of music that he puts together is. So that interview, in case you missed it, we'll have that for you just after 5:30. Just a bit of a change from what we ordinarily might do, like a big news story. Unless Pablo Rodriguez calls us back and says, hey, can I come on at 5:30, in which case we'll have to jettison Stefan Macchio and keep him for another time. But I will play that again because I think it's worth hearing. All right, that said, Dean W.
Yay, reruns.
No? Okay. No. Let me mention as well, our contest continues this week. And as I promised yesterday, this is to win tickets to the Musical Box, who, of course, perform, Genesis, like a Genesis tribute band. Is that fair to say? Yesterday was just a word about, a song with a song title with the word box in it or something like box. It turned out it was Simon and Garfunkel's The Boxer, which is, of course, in and of itself an amazing song. But I said that would be the only day we do that. The rest of the week, it will be Genesis related. That's exactly what it is. So if you are a fan of Genesis, that's what
no, not really.
One thing you forgot to mention, the record-breaking Lotto-Max ticket.
Oh, tickets.
Yeah, 2 winners, one in Ontario, one in Quebec.
Yeah, $40 million each. I checked
too.
Free ticket.
Me too.
totally forgot to buy one. And I was gonna.
Wow.
Darn.
I was at Empire Gold earlier today, right? I walked in and Danielle was there, and they had like one of those group, that's like 10 feet long. They're long. It's like 20 or whatever. I don't know how many things are on that. If you have the app on your phone, the Lotto Quebec app, you can actually scan a ticket. You don't have to go to a place to have it scanned. It's got a little app on it. You can scan it, and I scanned it. And the 2 words you never want to hear, non-winning. But that's what it was. Listen, good luck to you. They didn't tell us where in Quebec it was sold yet, right? We don't know.
Not yet.
But someone in Quebec just won $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to you, whoever you are. Let's go to traffic. CJ.
Probably someone who already has $40 million.
Lauren Glazer. Lauren, did you happen to have the winning ticket?
No, it wasn't me.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Would be somebody different maybe on traffic this afternoon.
You think? Hey, I just won $40 million. I got a traffic shit. Can someone cover for the rest of my life? Yeah. Thank you, Lauren.
Well, good afternoon, Aaron. Looking at the westbound side of the 20, we are seeing delays now between Turcotte and Norman. Eastbound side of the 20, that is stopped 32nd all the way back into the Turcotte interchange. For southbound 13 delays as well between Notre Dame and the Bissau Bridge. Again, between Kerlies and Autoroute 20. Eastbound side of the Tican has delays. Also, Avenue St. Charles to the Latour again between Kerlies and Papineau on the eastbound Met. More volume eastbound Metlac Cordaire to Saint Laurent, also between Des Lauriers and the Anjou interchange. Northbound the Carry is slowing as well between Sherbrooke and the Top. Southbound the Carry, that is a lot of volume now from the Top all the way up to De La Vérendrye on southbound 15. Earlier on, we did have a truck lose a load of earth, and the cleanup process is ongoing.
Yeah.
Electric Chevrolet Equinox EV starting at $41,061, including
It shows.
Details and conditions at ChevroletOffers.ca. Let us know easy on the roads. Call in your tips to star 800. Your next report at 2:30.
All right, thank you, Lord. Just a reminder, traffic is brought to you by Cars for Kids, reminding you the easiest way to get rid of your car and get a tax receipt is to donate it today. That means your car can be picked up as soon as the next day, and you get that tax receipt, as I said. Carsforkids.ca. That's cars with a K. Carsforkids.ca. By the way, just to announce only moments ago, the U.S. Fed cut interest rates today by 0.5%, so 50 basis points, which kind of gives you the impression that the Bank of Canada, which announces in another couple of weeks, might do the same. Not a quarter point, which is what it's been up until now, 3 in a row, right? But a half a point. So market's liking the news today, and I'm sure for a lot of people that is good news. But yeah, that just story just after 2 o'clock, the U.S. Fed cutting interest rates there by 50 basis points, by 0.5%. All right, let me get to our question of the day for today. And I know this has probably been talked about a lot. I know Vashi was on with this a while ago. I know Trudy talked about it this morning as well. So there was a rather charged moment that played out in Ottawa yesterday out in Parliament Hill when NDP leader Jagmeet Singh ran into some hecklers. Now, if you've ever seen this, hecklers kind of live there, right? They're just there all the time. Now, it would seem to me back in the old days, you might find a heckler or a couple. Nowadays, they seem to come in swarms. They're like in groups. And I think this is ever since the Freedom Convoy, right? Some of these people just have made it their job to be up there heckling politicians of all stripes.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yesterday, a couple of hecklers up there decided to call out Jagmeet Singh. If you missed it, here's kind of how it went down.
Kind of? That's somebody felt bullied in high school or elementary school, and somebody had really good to stand up for himself.
Was it you? No. You sure? If it was me, I'd admit it, buddy. Was it you or not? If it was me, I'd admit it. Would you say that? I didn't
What, did he run away?
It was a gentleman behind me, I guess. Who is it then?
Okay, I guess he's
who was, buddy? My word. You sure it's not you? No. 100%. You're a coward. You're not going to take my face. That's what's up. See what? You guys said something like...
All right. When you see this, there's a couple of guys who goes up to one who says it wasn't me. There's a lot of this yesterday.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. A lot of that. Again. Said it over and over and over again.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. I got it. Thank you. So here's the thing. Clearly it was, but that's not the important part here. The fact that it was one of those guys, they both they were cowardly at the end, saying, "Oh, it wasn't me." Although got a little, I thought at one point when the guy took off his sunglasses, I thought something was going to go down. I thought it was going to happen. But look, here's my question to you today. It's simply whether you feel Jagmeet Singh did the right thing.
What, baby? One sec, go get some water. Go drink some water.
Right up to the guy's face. You heard him and said, "Did you say that? Did you say that?" No. Did he do the right thing by getting in their face and challenging them to say what they did or what they said directly to him? Or was confronting the heckler the way he did, was that in and of itself risking escalating tensions even further? Especially when you consider the politically charged environment we live in these days.
No.
And I couldn't help but think to myself, what would have happened if the heckler had admitted he called Singh a crooked bastard? That's the two words he used, crooked bastard. Would Singh have taken a swing at him?
No, you said corrupt.
Because it looked like he was getting ready to, lay one on him. And how would that have looked? We tell our kids not to directly confront a bully if it risks making things worse or puts them in harm's way.
He's a solo.
So
get it right.
Singh, who is apparently a trained martial artist, thought he wasn't in harm's way, that he could take this guy.
Why
I don't
not?
know. Maybe we'll never know. But my question is, should the same rule apply to a politician? And look, it's tough being a politician these days. I think we can all admit that. It's worse now than it's ever been. Not just on social media, that cesspool of people commenting in anonymity, but even physically. And I think back to what I saw Justin Trudeau go through last time there was an election. Remember, people throwing stones and people,
Okay, he threw a handful of pebbles, like 30 feet away.
In dealing with this situation the way he did, could you handle things differently? Maybe a more measured response? I don't know, just walking away, which is what leaders, by the way, do almost all the time. You just walk away. Someone's heckling you in the back, you just ignore it because you've been taught to ignore it. Don't want to make things worse. Or maybe, just calmly walking up to the person in question and asking him what his issue was.
That's what he did.
So that's my question to you. Given what you just heard, do you believe Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP, acted appropriately or not? And if not, what should he have done? What do you believe the correct reaction to that should have been?
Be a bigger person, walk away.
As a corrupted bastard.
Pretty sure that's
Jagmeet Singh hears it. And by the way, he's just walking as this happens. He stops when he hears those two words. That's when he turns and walks right up to the guy's face. Is that the right way for a politician to deal with this kind of a situation? Yes or no? And if not, what should he have done?
Yeah, I think you guys are blowing it kind of out of proportion. I don't think any fight was ever going to happen.
I'm not sure what it is, but I want to know from you. 790-0800, 514-790-0800 for your texts when we come back.
Before the end of fall, I'd like to go camping one more weekend. Shut down the cottage, enjoy some time outside, break the leaves. We'll have to drain the pool, the cedar shops for winter, and put up a snow shelter.
What are you doing? Fuzz. I don't want this. Yeah. Lots of jets recently. Oof.
This week, a new miniseries, Love and Money by Goldwater Duvet. Over the next few weekends, learn more about family law, divorce, youth protection, and more. Up next, family finances, how to ensure good communication and avoid big legal bills. Join me, Dan Delmar, and Anne France Goldwater for the miniseries Love and Money by Goldwater Duvet. Subscribe as a podcast on iHeart or your favorite podcast platform, and join us Saturday at noon on the Inspiring Business Hour from News Talk Radio, CJAD 800.
With the CTV News app, our news is always at your fingertips, giving you breaking news fast and stories that matter to your community.
Download the CTV News app to get local updates and push notifications, or visit ctvnewsmontreal.ca.
Today at Pharmaprix, open your PC Optimum app, shop your offer on beauty products, and earn 30,000 points. A $30 value. Conditions in app.
Was it you or not? If it was me, I'd admit it. Would you say that? I didn't say nothing. It wasn't me. It was the gentleman behind me, I guess. Who is it then? Well, I have no idea who it was, buddy. My word. You sure it's not you? No.
Probably just like the gentleman behind me. Like,
That's a sign. Say what? If I said something like that to you, I'd admit it.
like I'd love to see the
What he
video
said
of
was
them.
crooked bastard, and he was talking to Jagmeet Singh or about Jagmeet Singh. Jagmeet Singh heard it, turned around, walked right up to his face, and you heard what happened after that.
Sounds just like Irish, but
Outside of the guy being a coward, clearly he was one of those guys. I think it was the second guy he went up to who did say it, but then said, I never said it. Wasn't me. Thank you. What do you think?
thank you.
Jagmeet Singh handled this the right way. Now, at the end of all of this, and by the way, there were security people around. Had something happened, they would have been on top of this guy right away. But that's
Yeah,
not the point.
yeah, but they said there
The
wasn't.
point is, it looked like the visual looked very close to him just deciding if the guy had said something, there was going to be a fight, there was going to be a punch, something would have happened. And it would have been worse than a Shawinigan handshake for John Krejci.
The what?
Jagmeet Singh is a trained martial artist, right? So he knows his
Okay,
stuff.
we
He's
have
a
to
big
look
guy,
this up
but
now.
What do you think? Was this handled the right way, the wrong way? If it was handled the wrong way, how should it have been handled? By a politician who just basically had enough.
Shawinigan
Probably hears this. I
handshake,
know he
Jean
does every
Chrétien.
single day, as so many politicians do. And maybe he just snapped and said,
No.
you know what, it's enough. Come on, say it to my face. That's a challenge. That's a challenge looking for a confrontation, isn't it? 790-0800. Louis, what do you think?
Hey, Aaron, as I mentioned to your producer, I'm not a huge fan of Jagmeet
Wow.
Singh, and I do sympathize with him in this case because I guess at some point somebody's poking you and you know saying things to your back, you might want to turn around and say, "Well, say it to my face." But having said that, he's vying to be the PM of Canada. I think it's a tough position to be in, but he's got to show a bit more restraint and just walk away. The guy clearly was an idiot. Just let him talk and just walk away.
Fair enough. That's the kind of reaction I kind of have, as well, to be honest. As I said, I'm not sure there's a right or wrong answer. Louis, thank you. Michael, what about you?
Well, the guy who said it was rather silly, and I disagree
Rather
entirely
silly.
with the attitude of people nowadays to start screaming bad things about politicians personally, not their policies, but personally. which is what
29
happened
years
in this
ago.
case. But Singh completely overreacted. If you look at that, it's like he's daring the guy.
Yeah.
You're a coward. He's calling him a name. And it looks like, as you pointed out, Singh is a strong guy. He's a big guy, and he knows martial arts.
No, he's not. He's a little short
The
thing.
guy who said it had said, yeah, so what?
What are you talking about?
A totally bad attitude on Singh's part. Somebody else suggested. go to
See
the
how short
guy
that
and say,
motherfucker is? He's
"What
super
is-
short.
How can I? What would you like me to do, and how may I do it? And disarm the guy completely instead of escalating the situation.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. That is the option, right? To walk up to someone in a
Right.
composed kind of way and say, I heard what you said. Tell me why you said it. Now, maybe it's easy for us, Michael, to sit and
How tall is Jagmeet Singh?
not too much to expect. I don't think so.
He is a seasoned politician. He should know this is not a pleasant
5'10".
sometimes.
And stuff like this is going to happen, and you should be prepared for it to happen, and it doesn't have
I'm
to turn into a
5
confrontation. Michael, I
foot
thank you for the call. I want to hear
6.
from you. Jagmeet Singh, did he act properly, improperly? And if he acted improperly, what should he have done? I've heard two great calls. One would have been just walk up and talk to the guy, number one. And the other one was, no, this is not the way it should have been handled. What do you? I'm sure there are people.
I know you're
some of your
hungry.
text,
You're always
people think,
hungry.
no, good for him for standing up to this guy. What do you think? 790-0800, 514-790-0800 for your text when we come back right after news.
Good afternoon. It's 2:30. I'm Jason Mayoff for the CTV News Update. Here's what's making news right now. It looks like the Conservatives' first chance to topple the minority government will fail. The party needs the votes of both the Bloc Québécois and the NDP for next week's motion to pass. But Bloc leader Yves-François Blanchet says his party will vote to support the Trudeau government. Federal Transport Minister Pablo Rodriguez will announce his resignation from cabinet tomorrow to seek the leadership of the Quebec Liberal Party. His decision is another blow for Justin Trudeau, who's coming off a by-election loss this week in LaSalle-et-Verdun, a longtime Liberal stronghold. And Israel's defense minister has declared the start of a new phase of the war as the country turns its focus toward the northern front against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Yoav Gallant made no mention, though, of the mysterious explosions of electronic devices in Lebanon in recent days.
Mysterious?
For more news, including police investigating the suspicious death of a 5-year-old boy, go to ctvnewsmontreal.ca. With the latest from the CJAD 800 Traffic Center, here's Lauren Glazer.
We do have delays now for northbound the Carry. Its length also a pretty slow drive for southbound the Carry, starting at the top, rolling all the way onto De La Vérendrye on southbound 15. We still have a work crew there through the area, taking up the right side. Westbound side of the 20, it is a slow drive between Turcotte and Norman. Eastbound side of the 20, difficult from 32nd into Turcotte. We're also dealing with an accident now. That's at Ongrigno, taking up the left side. Northbound 13 delays as well before the T-Can up to the Bisson Bridge, and again between the 344 and 640. On the westbound side of the Met, off and on volume now between Lac-Cordaire and Saint Laurent, again between Des Lauriers and Des Carré. Canadian Tire in support of Jumpstart. You donate, they play. All funds help families overcome financial barriers to sport and play. Donate at jumpstart.canadiantire.ca. Traffic and transit every.
Okay, let's check this out.
It was supposed to be a special day, a celebration to mark the anniversary.
Ford employee pricing is back.
It's the highlight of the summer.
When you get my price on this F-150,
what's not to love? Ford employee pricing, you pay what we pay.
You ever play the same thing? You guys can play the app, no problem though.
It was supposed to be a special day, a celebration to mark the anniversary of the Canadian flag.
Ford employee pricing.
That's not the way things turned out in Hull, Quebec. As the Prime Minister of Canada came face-to-face with a demonstrator, physically grabbed him and shoved him aside. Our coverage of this extraordinary moment begins with our chief political correspondent, Jason Moskowitz.
Nothing seems to come easy for the Prime Minister anymore. It certainly wasn't easy to deliver a speech over the noise of the protesters who came equipped to make all the noise they wanted. The Prime Minister didn't try to speak for very long. Instead, he walked into the crowd, but there too he had to contend with the protesters. Chrétien should be unemployed, the protesters screamed. As the Prime Minister continued toward his car, he came face to face with one of the demonstrators. Suddenly, Chrétien took the man by the back of the neck. His other hand was over the protester's mouth. He pushed him aside. Seconds
Where is
later,
he
another
at?
protester approached the Prime Minister. Chrétien knocked over the bullhorn that was in his hands. This was all over in a matter of seconds. The Prime Minister grabbing a protester by the back of the neck and pushing him aside.
I'm
The
so
RCMP
confused.
pushed the protester on the ground. But how did the protester get so close to the Prime Minister? The RCMP says there was no breach in security.
The Prime Minister was adequately protected today, and and that's it.
Bill Clinton is the protester who was pushed aside.
Your name is Bill Clinton?
And then I said, well, I'll keep my ground right
That's
here.
hilarious.
And then he came and put me on the ground.
Although the protesters were protesting unemployment insurance changes, Deputy Prime Minister Sheila Cobb says their protest was also about national unity.
You don't use that point to destroy the celebration of the Canadian flag.
You mentioned
I mentioned separatists because they then went on to say that it wasn't their flag.
When it was over, Jean Chrétien provided his account.
You didn't lunge at him, did you?
I don't know. What happened?
I don't know.
Since you don't know, the cameras were there. Some people came in my way. It might have been
Yeah, I just want a bullhorn in my face. Like, I'd slap it out of there.
So I don't know what happened. If you happened something to somebody, should not have been there.
Afterward, the Prime
I
Minister's
miss that
office said
guy. That
Chrétien
guy's hilarious.
was just defending himself.
Well, the old Street Fighter is back in town.
Lawrence Martin recently wrote a book about Jean Chrétien. In it, he chronicles fistfights the Prime Minister fought right up to adulthood.
I think
Really?
Chrétien forgetting his prime ministerial pose and saying, I'm not going to take this anymore. I've had enough. First Bouchard, then the knife wielder.
Yeah, well, if
now
someone put
this
a
guy.
bullhorn in
Well,
your
that's it.
face, I think you would probably, like, move it out of the way.
The Prime Minister had one last appearance, but he was in no mood to say another thing about the altercation.
What were you thinking when you grabbed the protesters?
After all, Chrétien had declared February the 15th Flag Day. And there is no question this year's first ever Flag Day was, as they say, overtaken by events. Jason Moskowitz, CBC News.
That was funny. Enjoyed that.
Right up to he stopped walking, turned around after he heard this, walked right up to the guy's face and said, "Did you say that?" And the first guy said, "No, it must be the guy behind me." Walked up to him, same thing. Because again, it didn't happen. And maybe that's the concern here. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that, but I couldn't help but think, what could have happened if this had gone to the next level? And maybe it's fair to ask, I see someone texted this. I think that's a fair question too. Why didn't security step in? Security was there. Why didn't they get involved right away?
I agree with that.
As soon as you saw Jagmeet Singh walk up to this guy, isn't that time for
I
security to
agree with
walk up and
that.
put some
'Cause there's,
distance
like, two
between him and the
second
protester?
assassination attempt on
Okay,
the
did he do the right thing? Was that the appropriate way to deal with a bully? If you want to call the other guy a bully, a coward, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's not about him. It's about Jagmeet Singh. 790-0800. Let me go to Carlo, who's on the line. Carlo, what about you?
Security code of ethics is that shouldn't have happened. Security usually says no, and he says it out loud. Get back. They're very arrogant, security. They see a situation like that, code of ethics, they grab the politician and says, keep walking. That's the way it should have been. That's code of ethics.
It didn't happen in this case, so that would be a security failure is what you're saying.
Training that I have is code of ethics. I would grab them by the neck and say, move, stop and move.
At what point, though, because, the other argument to that, of course, is the guy has a right, like any other Canadian, to protest, to heckle, right?
No, right. No, code of ethics, security service. Move. No.
Okay.
That's the way we work.
Okay. Thank you for the call, Carl's not fooling around. Edgar, what about
Carl's
you?
not fooling around.
I think that, Jagmeet Singh made a point when he said he was going to rip up the agreement with Trudeau and saying, I'm a tougher guy than you think I am, and I'm going to make my own decisions.
Yeah, I think it's a setup.
I think this is just a reinforcing type of act. That's maybe why security didn't respond.
That's what I think.
Because they were told not to respond.
I think so too, yeah.
Well, hold on. How could they be told not to respond? This happened actually just, I think
he got one of his buddies.
I understand.
There was no briefing to the security detail. Please don't get involved. He walked right up to this guy after he heard those words. He probably caught security off guard a little bit, but at some point you think to the last caller, you had a code of whatever, behavior, ethics, whatever you want to call it, as soon as he started walking up to that guy. And I think back to that incident with Christopher Freeland, when she was approached by that guy, she's walking into an elevator. That could have got ugly too. Where was security here? I think that's another story or another question for another day. But so your point is what exactly?
My point is, I think Jagmeet Singh is trying to, reframe, who the NDP and who Jagmeet Singh is.
As the tough guy?
He's a tough guy.
As the tough guy. Okay, good for that. All right, Edgar, thank you. Daniel, what about you?
I don't know. I think he's in a raw deal here. I think he did the absolute right thing by calling this guy out, and the guy was too much of a coward to admit it. So what do we want in our leaders? We want our leaders to stand up for the South. Stand up for our country. And I'm glad security did not step in, and it was able to go down. And who would have known if the guy was actually admitted to it, what would have happened? But we don't know.
So were you not concerned when you saw this? That, as I said, what might have happened next, or was that not a concern?
Well, it wasn't that much of a concern.
Okay. Do people actually live that way?
Wondering what would happen next.
But nothing did.
But nothing did.
Okay.
And I think security
would be such a miserable way to
I wonder if that would have been too late, though. That's my concern.
Constantly being scared that the worst thing's going to happen.
It's just Daniel, thank you for the call. Ahmad, what about you?
I think he did the right thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have seen a video with Jagmeet Singh. A woman walked on an event. They were dancing and all that. She called him, you this and you that, Sharia law, go back to your home and all that. He's not even Muslim. He does not give her the satisfaction of explaining who he is. He just said that's a wrong thing. And the video went for a long time, trying to de-escalate, educate her. But imagine that video was there. How many events he had been facing like that?
Sure.
So, there is a point. You say enough is enough. And I think what he did,
funny.
I am proud of that. He did a good thing.
Go back to where you came from.
I will, to your point, by the way, we don't see this every day, but you're right. Imagine how many times he's been subjected to this kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm sure many of the political leaders as well, federal leaders, who have to deal with this every day. And 99 times out of 100, it's just, it's part of the job. You ignore it, you move along.
No.
But yesterday, it was not.
No.
So maybe you're right. That was his boiling point yesterday. Gord, what about you?
I agree with one of the previous callers. Singh showed a lot of chutzpah. That's what we need in our leader. That monkey needed to be put to his place, and that's exactly what Singh did.
Not the best word to use.
See, I'm starting to see the calls have shifted, right? From no, I don't think he did the right thing, which were the early calls, to no, you know what, good for him. I think, as a couple of you have said, that's what we're looking for in our leader, someone who could do something like that, would do something like that. Scott, what about you?
Man, I tell you what,
I tell you what.
stones I've ever seen him have.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also very
he got
surprised.
Not as angry as you did yesterday when you found out that a conservative got voted into LaSalle. So.
A conservative didn't get voted into LaSalle. They finished last.
Not the political candidate you wanted to.
Yeah, I don't vote in that riding. I don't have a political candidate I favored in that riding. But I like the fact that you used the word stones. Thank you for family listening. Willie, what about you? What do you think?
I agree. I'm also very surprised that Jagmeet Singh actually found his man parts in his wife's purse. But if you can't stand up for yourself, how are you going to stand up for me, like, in politics? Like, there's a lot of back and forth smack talking. So if you don't have the man parts to speak up,
Corner, it wouldn't have been like that. If it was in the public street corner, like, I wanted to stay in the hood, in the street corner, Jagmeet would have kept on walking. And the guy at the same time wouldn't challenge that. They know there's a security in between.
Okay.
This guy's
and they
super
wouldn't
tough.
let it escalate. That's why this is all of a sudden. And Jagmeet, you got to do something, rest
Tell you one thing, Jagmeet could not have gotten any closer to this guy's face than he was, and there was no security in between the two of them at that point. But you're basically saying, thanks for the call. These two protesters, hecklers, idiots, whatever you want to call them, all talk, no action. That's kind of what you would have expected to happen here. As I said, that one protester, the first one who pulled up his sunglasses to try to look at Jagmeet Singh and call, "Hey, buddy," that's as far as that got. Take one last call. Rachel's on the line. Rachel, what do you think?
Jagmeet Singh did the absolute right thing. The fellows who called him out, or the fellow who did call him out, is a coward. because he couldn't stand up to himself. He couldn't say, yeah, I was the one who said it. He's a total coward. Jagmeet Singh did the absolute right thing. And I'm not for him politically, but this guy threw personal slurs at him. Not political slurs, you're a bad politician, don't like your policies. Personal slurs.
Well, okay, but is crooked bastard a personal slur or a political slur? It's based on what he's done politically, not what he's done or believes in personally.
If you're calling somebody a bastard,
I agree.
That hits
That's an insult.
especially men a lot more in the gut. Because that references your mother.
It's a rude insult.
That actually references your mother.
Hey, Rachel, between you and me, I don't think most people look at that as referencing your mother. I don't think that's what most men, to your point,
but that's what it means,
actually think when that word is used. But crooked is political. It's not personal.
Corrupt.
So I'm not sure that that's in fact the case. Look, I want to bring this back. A lot of texts I couldn't even get to here. We'll do this just after 4 o'clock. Who's there? My wife is there? Oh, hi, Val.
Hey.
I think you did
the right thing because there's so many people now doing things that are disrespectful. He's going to.
Yeah, so here's the thing about you. You can't actually use that word on the radio.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Why? That was my job.
Eric?
Okay, yeah, Val.
I got to go.
Okay, yeah, you certainly do. Okay, well, as I said, we'll bring this back after at 4 o'clock. I'll take their calls and texts. Did that get out on the air, Brian?
I think I caught it.
Did you? Okay.
Why can't you say
Why
can't you say that word on the?
I'm sure there, but you know what? There are people who feel the same way, right? That he did the right thing.
That's what he
you have
said.
to do that
Like,
because you got to at some point put up or shut up. I think that's the way to summarize it. Thank you for your calls. Appreciate your texts. As I said, we'll bring it back after 4 o'clock. Let's get to traffic. CJD 800 Traffic Center. And a check on your drive. Here's Lauren Glazer. Lauren?
I like Val. Looking at the westbound side of the 20, it does have delays between Turcotte and Norman. Eastbound side of the 20, it's a busy drive. 55th out to Ungrenio. We did have an accident there, but it has been moved out. Outbound side of the Mercy Bridge, you're backing into Ville St. Pierre. Also delays for northbound to Cary now. Sherbrooke up to the top. Southbound to Cary still very tough from the top out to the La Vérendrye. We do have a work crew still there taking up the right side. Westbound side of the Met off and on slowdowns like Cordero to Saint Laurent again between Lacadie and DeCary. For northbound 13, it's a slow drive also between Cover 2 and Henri Bourassa, also between the 344 and 640. Today at Farmer Free, open your PC Optimum app, shop your offer on beauty and earn 30,000 points. A $30 value. Conditions in app. Let us know what you see on the roads. Call in your tips to star 800. Your next report at 3 o'clock.
All right. Thank you, Lauren. Traffic brought to you. New sponsor today. This is great. Solaya Condos. That's SOLAIA. Solaya Condos, where you can live luxuriously at Solaya Condos in DDO. You can enjoy a limited time 1.99% interest rate for the first 12 months. You can get more details online at solayacondos.ca. Again, SOLAIA, Solaya Condos.ca. Got to take a look at the calendar, a little bit of comedy for you. Goodness knows we need that, or we need that rather. That's coming up next.
We need that.
95.9 Virgin Radio is your hit music station. Hear the hits first from your favorite artists. Montreal's #1 hit music station.
95.9 Virgin Radio.
Hey, savings and fun are coming your way. Join IKEA family and get ready to save during IKEA Hay Days from September 19th to 22nd. Conditions apply. Visit IKEA.ca for details.
The best of the best is back at Mitsubishi Motors. The no-charge extended warranty, valued at up to $3,750, is available on all Mitsubishi SUVs, but only until September 30th. Hurry down today. Visit your local Mitsubishi dealer for more details. Conditions apply.
Like most Quebecers, you probably have old electronics hanging around the house. But old electronics can still be useful. They're full of reusable materials that can be used to make all kinds of other products. That's why it's important to bring them to one of the authorized drop-off points that are part of the Quebec Electronics Recycling Program. From eco-centers and electronics retailers to other organizations within the network, recycling old electronics is not a waste of time. Visit recyclemyelectronics.ca.
When you gear up with Lake Purr, it's because it gets the job done. So when fall arrives, our warm clothes really keep you warm. Our safety clothes really keep you safe. And our comfy clothes really keep you feeling good. Shop Lake Purr and lakepurr.com.
Before the end of fall, I'd like to go camping one more weekend. Shut down the cottage, enjoy some time outside, break the leaves. We'll have to drain the pool, cover the cedar shops for winter, and put up the snow shelter. Then my son needs new hockey equipment, and my daughter needs driving lessons.
Got a lot to do this fall? Let our Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac certified service experts
experts install your winter tires. Book your appointment online before September 30th and get 3 months of OnStar Connected Vehicle Plan or SiriusXM at no charge. Get in on the deal by making an online appointment at mycertifiedservice.ca.
It's the back-to-school sale at Germain Lariviere. With the choice of over 600 demonstration appliances, there's no better time to replace your appliances. Get them promptly delivered to your door. Get in on our sales on the biggest brands and save the equivalent of the taxes on selected models. The back-to-school sale is the perfect opportunity to save big and live your dreams. Germain Lariviere. Appliances, furniture, and mattresses.
For Énergère, it's important to unite to create a more sustainable future. That means Énergère is working to implement more solutions that are more responsible, to be more efficient, and emit less greenhouse gases. The hope is that more and more people create and use more renewable energy and consume less fossil fuels, because it's by joining forces that we can consume less and can do more to use less. You get it. We're all part of the answer to building a more sustainable future. Énergère. Imagine energy differently.
When the time comes to choose a new Toyota, never compromise on quality. Buy or lease your new Toyota at Spinelli Toyota.
It's time to Toyota at Spinelli Toyota. Get a 2024 Tundra Crew Max Limited Nightshade from $214 a week on a 60-month lease at 4.99% with $0 down payment. An amazing choice offered from $72,602.
Spinelli Toyota, the address of choice for all automotive services in Point Claire.
When you have high stakes on the high seas, it's all hands on deck. From producer Ryan Murphy, starring Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson. Dr. Odyssey, new series, Thursday, September 26th on CTV.
You're listening to Montreal Now on CJAD 800.
Take a look.
What's on tonight?
Yes, that's
brought to you by the...
Andrew got upset if we don't play that. They have to play that, Brian. Sorry.
Not during this time. I messed up.
You messed up.
Yeah,
it wasn't me.
Yeah, it's me.
It wasn't
fresh
me.
off vacation. I'm
That's
messing
okay.
up,
That's okay. Welcome back. Nice to have you back. It's good. See, this, it's real. These things happen. Calendar for today, starting off with the fact that today, this is kind of fun, is National First Love Day. Remembering your first love. Special, huh? You can think all the way back. I don't think that applies necessarily when you're like in grade 5 or grade 6 or your first. Maybe it does, but that's not real love, right? So think about your first actual love. Why are you looking at me like that, Dean? Are you thinking of your first? Is that what's going through your mind?
Yep.
Okay.
Not great.
Not great? Oh.
I mean,
sorry.
It's over, right?
They're all over, unless you married that person. I love the way this is described, though, on National First Love Day. Let me read this. It says, there's a fever, a passion, an overwhelming and world-destroying power that comes with that first spark of love that enters our lives. It becomes all-consuming and will leave us elated, destroyed, exalted, and devastated in equal measure in the wake of its passing. National First Love Day celebrates this most formative and powerful event in our lives for all its goods or all its goods and ills. That's National First Love Day. And I thought, what better song to mark this?
He would change his mind.
Until I discovered who sang this. This is called First Love. Go ahead. Yeah, First Love. You know, singing that? This is the beautiful part of the irony. That's Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
First Love. Not second, third, or fourth love, which is interesting because she's had all of those. But Jennifer Lopez, First Love, celebrating National First Love Day. Perhaps of more significance, of much less significance, today is also National Cheeseburger Day. There's something I can get behind. National Cheeseburger Day, which means you have to play this song because it's the only song dedicated to the cheeseburger. And I am wearing today, I posted this on my Instagram feed, I'm wearing my Jimmy Buffett shirt for National Cheeseburger Day. This is channeling Jimmy Buffett. Here you go.
Cheeseburger in paradise. Heaven on your slide. Cheeseburger in paradise.
Okay.
Happy National Cheeseburger Day, everybody. 254 Comedy. This is Dustin Nickerson.
36. I'm not handling my 30s very well because realizing 30s is not old, but it is.
What?
almost old. Like, you're right there, you know? And some of you in your 30s, you're like, that's not true. I'm still young. Yeah, the first stage of grief, denial. And everything changes. You can get hurt doing anything in your 30s. Anything is dangerous. I played basketball once a week. I texted a friend my age, and I said, hey, are you going to be here this week? And I said, no. I threw out my back, and I said, how? And he said, folding a sheet. And I wasn't surprised. I was mad at him because we needed the numbers. I was like, come on, man, you're 36. You know you can't be doing that by yourself anymore. Everything about health becomes much more challenging. That's what it is. And even your goals change, you know? Like in your 20s, you say things like, I want to look hot naked. And in your 30s, you're like, I want to look pretty good dressed. I'm not trying to get in good shape. I'm trying to get in a shape that nobody comments on. That's all.
What's on tonight is brought to you by the Ritz-Carlton Montreal, voted Canada's top luxury hotel by the readers of Travel and Leisure. Exceptional service and a commitment to excellence. The Ritz-Carlton Montreal.
Yeah, I want to look good naked. 256, Brian Calsar is here to look at what's on tonight.
Well, let's remind everybody that we have an awesome giveaway coming up on the show. We're giving you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the musical box to Genesis Live at Sal Wilford Peltier, January 16th, 2025. Tickets do go on sale Friday, September 20th at 10 a.m. at evenco.ca. Now, I've been away for a couple of weeks, so I'm not sure if you've covered this event, but I think it's pretty cool. If you did, it deserves a second mention. Club Broadway Evenco announced for the first time in Montreal 3 spectacular theatrical productions that will take center stage at Place des Arts. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, February 4th to 9th. Mean Girls, April 22nd to 27th. And Hamilton, August 19th to September 7th.
No, we didn't mention this.
This is an amazing, if you love musicals, these are 3 world-renowned musicals. So right now they offer a 3-show package. It's on sale right now. An individual show on sales, they'll be announced at a later date, but I will get you in the know. So if you are
when is this? Is there dates?
Yeah, they're all the individual shows. The tickets for them, they'll be announced at a later date to go on sale.
Okay.
But right now, if you go on Evenco, you can actually get a 3-show package.
Okay, but no, I mean, do we know when is this show coming to town?
Yeah, the shows are coming to town all next year. You got February for Tina.
Okay.
April 22nd for Mean Girls, and Hamilton August 19th. And of course, as dates come up, I'll get you.
That's great.
But that's great. That's 3 great musicals.
Wow, touring companies coming to Montreal. That's just good for the city too.
Exactly.
All right.
For tonight now on TV, for the first time ever in Bachelor franchise history, 24 seasoned men in the prime of their lives will roll up their sleeves and step into the spotlight, all vying to make a lasting impression on Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos. The series premiere of The Golden Bachelorette at 8 p.m. Aaron, are you going to watch?
I'm already embarrassed for the men.
Come on.
And the groveling that's going to be going on to try to get an eventual date or end up, with this woman. But yeah, of course, I'll have to watch the beginning of this. I hope they're not doing that thing, stepping out of the car and being stupid at the beginning.
Oh, you know they are.
Okay.
Oh, you know they are. Also, tonight's the 47th season premiere of Survivor at 8 p.m.
How many?
47th.
47 seasons of Survivor?
Are you serious?
Holy cow.
I know. Do you remember who the first Survivor winner was?
Yes, I do actually.
Yeah, the guy who was naked. What was his name? Didn't he go to prison for tax evasion? No, he did. Richard.
Really?
Oh, God, I can't remember his name. I should know that.
Someone's going to let us know, trust me. You also have the 14th season finale of MasterChef. Late night guys, Jimmy Fallon as Eva Mendes, Jimmy Kimmel, John Hamm, Maisie Stella, and Glass Animals. If you're looking for a movie to watch on AMC, Forrest Gump at 8 p.m. in sports. See if Montreal, they're back in action tonight when they take on the New England Revolution. Game time is at 7:30. And of course, you can catch the game on TSN 690, starting with the pregame at 7 p.m. Baseball, a couple of playoff clinching games tonight.
That is a squirrel eating a Cheeto.
With a win over the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Brewers, they can clinch the division title with either a win over the Phillies or a Cubs loss to the A's. Aaron, hope you have some popcorn tonight. The Yankees can officially clinch a postseason berth with a win over the Mariners at 9:40 p.m. And last night, Shohei Ohtani hit his 48th home run, matching his 48 steals. He has only 11 games left to achieve a 50-50 season, something that has never been done in MLB history. Dodgers, they got the Marlins at 6:40.
So I remember, I looked it up. I'm lying.
I knew you did.
His name is Richard Hatch. Richard Hatch. So I got the Richard part. He was the first winner of Survivor. Yes, he ended up going to prison for, I'm not laughing, for tax.
Are you
evasion or
serious?
some kind of tax
That's
evasion.
hilarious,
But
actually.
the best part of that season, there was 2 parts. The worst part was seeing him naked. The best part, at the final, whatever they call that ceremony there, right, where they all get voted off or they get to stay.
Yeah.
One of the women I think her name was, I could be wrong, Karen Hawk, was so upset that he won, or that he had basically double-crossed her, that she said if he was something like if he was lying in the middle of the road and she was there, she wouldn't help him. She'd let the car run over. I got to find that, because that's one of the all-time great speeches. So I can't believe it's 47
brutal
seasons 47 of Survivor.
Well,
what do they do, like 2 a year? Yeah, yeah, but that's insane. So that's 20-some-odd years. That's crazy. And this show continues to be popular. Otherwise, obviously, we'd be having season after season. All right. BK, thank you. Let's get you to news. Coming up on the other side of that, in case you missed it yesterday, Montreal Mayor Valerie Plante joined us. We talked about many things. Oh, and I also, by the way, asked her about, the Royal Mount Mall, the new giant mall that's opened up. You want to hear this? That's coming up next.
Wow.
You're listening to the voice of Montreal. News, talk radio, CJAD 800, an iHeart radio station.
It's 3:01. I'm Jason Mayoff for the CT date. A mix of sun and cloud today. It's 27 downtown. Weather details in minutes. Here's what's making news right now. The federal transport minister about to jump into the Quebec Liberal leadership race. It appears the Trudeau Liberals will survive a no-confidence vote and balloon toys that may make it into the Toy Hall of Fame. With the latest from the CJAD 800 Traffic Center, here's Lauren Glazer.
We're seeing a slow drive northbound to Cary now from Sherbrooke up to the top. Also delaying southbound to Cary from the top, running up to Goodsonville Road. Southbound 15 busy as well between de la Vérendrye and the Champlain on the westbound side of the 20. Losing time before Ungrenio now, running back to Norman. Eastbound side of the 20, a tough drive. Bouchard back to First Avenue. For the outbound side of the Mercier Bridge, it is backing into Ville St. Pierre. Pretty slow drive on the westbound side of the Met. Starts Lac-Ordy again between Lacadie and Cary. On the westbound side of the T-Can time now before Ancien Combattant to the Latorte Bridge. Charge ahead with the all-electric Chevrolet Equinox EV, a vehicle you know, value you'd expect, and a dealer right down the street. Ready to go EV? Chevrolet's got you. Traffic and transit every 15 minutes on CJAD 800. Your next report at 3:15.
Federal Transport Minister and Justin Trudeau's Quebec Lieutenant, Pablo Rodriguez, is about to announce he's running for the leadership of the Quebec Liberal Party. Rodriguez has been a long-rumored candidate, but until now has only said he was thinking about it. The MNA for NDG, Desiree McGraw, says if he runs, he will be the strongest candidate.
Proven leader as an MP, as a minister from Quebec, as someone who himself has been involved in many leadership races, and I always saw that in Pablo. And now it's his time to not just to support a leader, but to be the leader.
He'll be up against former Montreal Mayor Denis Coderre, Montreal MNA Frédéric Beauchemin, and the head of the Federation of Quebec Chambers of Commerce, Charles Milliard, elected tomorrow. Well, looks like the Conservative Party will not top the minority federal government next week. The party will table a no-confidence motion on Tuesday that'll be voted on Wednesday. The Conservatives need the support of the Bloc Québécois and the NDP for it to pass. The New Democrats haven't said how they'll vote, but the leaders will vote against the motion and will support the Trudeau Liberals. Canada abstained today in a high-profile UN vote demanding an end to Israel's, quote, unlawful presence in Gaza and the occupied West Bank within a year. The General Assembly passed the resolution asking to enforce an International Court of Justice ruling. That ruling says Israel is breaking international law by occupying Palestinian land it captured by force in 1967. Canada's ambassador to the United Nations, Bob Ray, told the Assembly the motion was too one-sided.
Our problem with the resolution is that it goes well beyond the ICJ advisory opinion. We cannot support a resolution where one party, the State of Israel, is held solely responsible for conflict.
Ray does say that Ottawa agrees that Israel's occupation is. Have arrested 2 people on drug charges after an 15-year-old boy who died in a synthetic opioid overdose. The suspects, aged 17 and 24, have been charged with possession and trafficking of narcotics. 15-year-old Mathis Boivin from Montreal died in December after taking a pill containing nitazine, a synthetic opioid stronger than fentanyl. Well, the U.S. National Toy Hall of Fame is floating the idea of inducting balloons.
Transformers, Choose Your Own Adventure books, and balloons are among the finalists for the Strong Museum Toy Hall of Fame. The museum has announced 12 finalists in all, including entries like the trampoline and returning finalists like My Little Pony. The Stick Horse is also nominated this year, as are remote-controlled vehicles and Hess toy trucks, card games Phase 10, Apples to Apples, and Pokemon, as well as the board game Sequence, round out the list of finalists. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
For interviews and other audio, go to CJAD800.com or download the iHeartRadio app. Your Dormegu Weather Center forecast, a mix of sun and cloud today, the high 28, partly cloudy tonight, the low 16, and a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow, the high, again, 28. It's 27 downtown. For all the news during the day, stream us on your smart speaker. CJAD 800. Your next CTV News update is at 3:30.
This newscast brought to you by Busta Move Moving. Are you moving soon? Hire the super movers at Busta Move Moving. Super fast and super friendly. Free estimates at bustamovemoving.com.
Soon, we'll change the color of our cars just like that, but they'll continue to rust. That's why Metropolitan Rust Proofing has developed a treatment perfectly adapted to our climate. In its service centers, all recommended by CAA Quebec, their experts provide the best protection and service to over 200,000 customers each year. Metropolitan Rust Proofing is the leader in protecting your peace of mind.
Book it service centers in Montreal or in Rush before it rusts.
It's always a good afternoon and great company with Aaron Rand on CJAD 800.
So I had Montreal Mayor Valerie Plante on the show late yesterday after 5:30, so I thought if you missed that, you might want to hear it. It all began with a story about the Ensemble Royal, the opposition at City Hall, coming out, trying to understand the administration had decided to basically block all comments to their social media posts. I asked her this. I know the opposition is criticizing you for shutting down basically comments on social media sites that you post or the administration posts. But on the other hand, I kind of understand this because I've read some of the vitriol that post. Yeah. But here's my question. Isn't it better to know those people who, I don't know, threaten and be able to find out who they are than to not allow them to post at all?
Well, I mean, first of all, I have to say that it's not on social media. It's only on Twitter, which is now called X, that we closed the comment box. So I really want to make that clear, because it is important to get, I read comments. For me, it's important to know through whatever it's Facebook or emails. And, I was in City Hall today for the municipal council. It's important. Even if they don't like me, they don't like what do, it's okay. But to me, the bottom line is when on a social media, it's more than criticizing. It's really about attacking and being, I'm receiving degrading comments. It is sometimes quite violent. And at one point, I don't want to give visibility and legitimacy. Not even a comment. It's only insults. So for me, bottom line, I don't think there is a fundamental right for people to insult other people. And to be honest, Mr. Wren, I feel like it's not okay for me because I'm the mayor, but it's not okay for anyone to get that type of insult, on social media. I feel like enough is enough, and X is, kind of failing in a way in creating those constructive interactions.
Listen, I don't disagree. I think to a point, people have called X a cesspool of comments sometimes. And I've read some of the comments, and to your point, and I think you're right. It goes beyond comments. When someone's threatened, not a hearsay necessarily, but I've seen other people criticize the Prime Minister and some of the stuff from his interviews for last night. And it's really pretty fun. I don't blame you for that. So it's going to be
threats in the past. When that happens, the police are taking care of that. But like I said, it's just for me, there's a zero tolerance for people that are not even making comments. They're just insulting people. I do not agree with that.
So let me ask you, since I brought this up, maybe this is not a fair question to ask. There's a municipal election coming up next year. A lot has been made about the fact, and we've asked this question on the show before, fewer and fewer people, it seems, want to get involved in politics generally, especially municipal politics. We know so many people have walked away, resigned, stepped down because they some of the attacks on social media. You're okay. You're going to run again next year. You said you would. I'm going to take you at your word. I don't think anything will change between now and then. Okay. How do you do it? I mean, there are plenty of people, as you said, yelling and screaming and pointing fingers and saying things that probably shouldn't be said, and they're degrading to a point. That doesn't bother you?
Oh, absolutely, it does. It affects me. And I mean, this is why I decided that since I'm a public figure, closing the comment box, and I'm very vocal about it, and I stand by my position as a way to say, if we want to attract different type of people in politics, whatever you're, maybe you're a woman or you're a racialized person, or maybe you have you're gay, it's not normal that you want to get involved, you want to participate in democracy. It is not, you don't have to accept that. And I've heard the opposition leaders saying, it's part of the job, minimizing, and I think this is very brutal, and it's not a good message to send to people that want to come into politics wanting to change the world. For me, it's not part of the job to get insulted. So I do think that, yes, it's tough. I have different mechanisms. I've been there, for a while. But I have to say, some of the threats I've received, my family, my kids, it's tough. That's why it's not acceptable.
Okay. Let me move beyond that to a story from, I guess, about a week or so ago. We had a judgment, of course, talking about racism, the fact that systemic racism is, in fact, an issue as far as the SPVM is concerned. I read a comment, I think it was Allison Haynes in the Gazette, who suggested, you know what, the racism issue exists, driving while black is a real thing. Advised you, as best she could, you know what, let this go, do not appeal this. What is the city going to do?
Well, I mean, at this point, as you can imagine, I cannot give you the answer right now because, the lawyers are analyzing the whole thing. And I want to reiterate that it is my administration, it's me as mayor that decided to recognize that there is racism, systemic discrimination against certain people in the city or, in our society. So for me, this is something that I take very seriously. At the same time, it is important for a city that manages Montrealers' money and the application for the future. We need to look at every detail. But I want to reiterate where my heart is, where this is all started, and it comes from a good place and wanted to bring, justice for people that feel discriminated against.
How did you feel when you heard that decision?
Well, I decided to participate. That's also another thing to say.
You were there in court, right?
I was there in court, exactly, and I wanted to be there because for me it is a very important cause. And so we will continue, we will follow a lot of the steps are being moved forward, and we will share the details of, I don't want to say the decision because ultimately it's more how it will apply, what would it mean. Every time there's something in court, it looks very simple, but it's a bit more complicated. And like I said, I'm in charge of the city as well and the city's finance, so we need to look at all the details.
Yeah, so when you say finance, what I'm getting is, from what we read, if this was to apply across the board, so many people who've been in cost the city millions of dollars, right?
Yeah, but again, make it like a money issue. It's really more about the details of how it would apply in the short term, middle term, and long term, because as you know, every time there's a judgment, it also brings like a jurisprudence, and that is important for the cause as well.
Okay, I will leave it at that. I want to ask you a couple of things real quick, not to do with any of this. Have you been to?
No, I haven't. I don't think I have other places to do my shopping. I do it downtown, so I'm not going to go to Royal Mount.
Oh, you're not going to go to Royal Mount?
I mean, seriously, I love St. Catherine, and if not, then my local business street is Plaza Saint-Hubert, and I can find everything I need. And actually, I don't wear Prada.
No, you can't even park on. Or it's a plaza. It's a pedestrian mall.
Oh well, it's going to reopen soon.
Oh.
Yeah, but I live close by. But I mean, if I have to drive there, then we take some of the parking under these parking lot that are available. There's 3 of them very close to Plaza Saint-Hubert, and there's always room.
There's a sports expert store in Royal Mount. It's not all Prada.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But I can always go on for the sports store in Little Italy. This is where I get all the best stuff.
Okay. Because you can take the metro to the last event and just walk across the Skyway. You don't have to take your car.
I hear you, but I would the local business streets before.
Okay. Last question, Ivanka, I let you go. Mayor, how's Cavendish coming along?
How's Cavendish moving along? Well, depends on which part, but the Cavendish Jean Talon is definitely something we want to move forward with because we want to start to build, a lot of housing on Hippodrome. So that is a link that absolutely needs to happen. So, and for the Cavendish connection, we're working with the Hydro-Québec and the different partners to make sure that once we do it, it will be doable because, there's the train tracks and stuff like that. But for sure, moving forward with Cavendish Jean Talon to open up that area that needs more fluidity for sure.
And Cavendish Boulevard itself, that extension, is that still happening?
Well, this is where we're having conversation with Hydro-Québec because they're doing some of the repairs and stuff. But I mean, it's still part of the plan. That's what we want to do. But in the short term, at least we want to, like I said, open up that area and to do with the Cavendish Jean Talon.
You still want to do a tramway?
Oh, I think it would be a fantastic idea, especially with the.
No. That's not a good idea. No. Okay, we'll have that conversation.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, if you can't make them laugh, then what's the point? This idea of a tramway, I'm not even the one that's supposed to happen out of Montreal East. I mean, there have been enough studies to suggest that, this thing is going to move so slow. What's the point of even having it? But that's what this administration seems to be hyper-focused on. We shall see. And as to Cavendish,
what?
Conversation, as I said, every time the mayor's on, I bring that up. I got a text message yesterday from someone after hearing this because the mayor had suggested hydro was an issue now. And of course, the train tracks had run across there. And I was told, by the way, for me, that's the first time I had ever heard hydro, like hydro be mentioned as a possible issue or problem. It's never come up before. The train tracks, yes. Hydro, never before. So that's something new, which makes me think, what, if they're waiting for Cavendish? I don't see this in the cards at all, which maybe doesn't come as big news. It's been 7 years. It looks like it's going to be a whole lot longer until that ever happens. I may have to get rid of this clip because, whenever the mayor's on, I ask her that question. Typically, she'll say this.
We're doing Cavendish for sure.
But yesterday, she didn't say that. 317, let's go to traffic. CJD 800 Traffic Center. Check on your drive right now. Here's Lauren Glazer. Lauren?
Aaron, we do have delays westbound side of the Met now between Viau and Saint Laurent, and again between Lacadie and the Carry interchange. A slower drive on the westbound side of the T-Cap starts after Morgan to the Latour Bridge for northbound Laurentian, off and on slowdowns from the 440 up to St. Rose. More volume between Blainville and Mirabel. Also delays northbound 13 covered 2 to Henri Bourassa, and again between the 344 and 640. Pretty tough drive. Southbound 13 starts inside the airport tunnel, runs out to the 20. On the westbound side of the 20, difficult as well before Hungry out to Norman. Outbound side of the Mercier Bridge, it is backing into Ville St. Pierre. If you're over, ask your doctor, nurse, or pharmacist if vaccination for pneumococcal pneumonia with Prevnar 20 is right for you. Learn more at Prevnar20.ca. Let us know what you see on the roads. Call in your tips to star 800. Your next report at 3:30.
All right, thank you, Lord. Traffic brought to you by the Matta Community Center, reminding you or inviting you to come volunteer to help prepare for Rosh Hashanah. Across the community, you can visit mattacenter.com today. That's one dot. Matta, M-A-D-A, mattacenter.com today. And help out for Rosh Hashanah. 319, we'll take a break when we come back. I love the way this was framed. Tinder for tree huggers.
What?
We'll find out next.
Oh, okay.
I'm deep in the forest, the natural habitat of the 2024 GMC Sierra 1500. Oh, guess what now? See how well adapted it is to its environment? A high-strength steel bed, 12 tie-downs, available multi-pro tailgate. Oh yeah, best-in-class standard engine torque.
Wherever you're headed, get up to $11,500 cash purchase credit on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. Conditions apply. Details at gmcoffers.ca. Welcome to the press conference. We're thrilled to announce our team's latest acquisition, Google Pixel 9 on Bell. With Gemini, Google's all-star AI on Canada's fastest and most reliable 5G network, we're ready for a standout season.
Add Google
Pixel 9 on Bell to your team. Get up to $800 off when you trade in an eligible phone. Learn more at bell.ca/Google or visit a Bell store. Bell, smartphones just got better.
Megatank. You can't print money, but with a Canon Megatank printer, you can save money on print.
Okay.
Canon Megatank refillable printers come with ink equivalent to 30 conventional ink cartridge sets. That's over $2,000 in ink savings. So if you're tired of changing ink cartridges, why not change your printer? Trust Canada's #1 printer brand, Canon, and don't think about ink for a long, long time. Canon Megatank printers available at Best Buy, Amazon, and Staples.
If you ever find yourself needing collision repair, CarStar is here to help make accidents unhappen. Any make, any model. That said, there are some accidents CarStar can't make unhappen, such as accidentally waking a hibernating bear, accidentally biting into a raw habanero pepper, accidentally throwing a frisbee at a beehive. CarStar, Canada's trusted collision repair expert, is here to make car accidents unhappen. For a location near you, visit carstar.ca.
School madness behind us, it's time to relax. Take advantage of 50% off the evening thermal experience for 2 at Strome Spa. Choose your destination, Saint-Sauveur, Île-des-Sœurs, or Mont-Saint-Hilaire. Then, get 10 sessions of hot yoga at half price at Idolem Yoga and discover the benefits of this sporty discipline that works the muscles in depth in a relaxing atmosphere. Great local deals at shopigo.ca.
Subway's new snackwitches are here, and they're just $4.
$4? I might have $4 in my purse.
Great, and they come on 4-inch ciabatta buttons.
There's gotta be $4 in my kid's piggy bank.
Get a couple snackwitches, like the honey mustard ham or BLT.
Wait, Jake owes me $4. What time is it?
3 p.m.
Snack time.
Snack attacks with Subway's new snackwitches. Price and participation may...
Oh, I just found $4 on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah.
You head out into the great unknown, trailer in tow. Your Toyota Tundra pulls the load with ease. The suspension hugs the potholes scattered along the road. Suddenly, thunder rumbles somewhere above. Nope, that's your stomach. It's about that new Toyota and start driving one. Discover the Tundra, available now at your local Toyota dealer, and check out our amazing offers at shoptoyota.ca.
Raise your hand if you're in need of a good night's sleep. Don't miss Matelas Bonheur's back to school sale on now. Save up to 30% on everything, including mattresses, adjustable beds, sheets, pillows. Bonheur.ca.
Police are searching for suspects after a wild car chase.
And news you need.
The STF could not give a timeline on when the repairs will be completed.
Watch CTV News at 5 and 6, or visit ctvnews.ca.
Today at Pharmaprix, open your PC Optimum app, shop your offer on beauty products, and earn 30,000 conditions in app.
You don't want to miss a thing. Montreal Now on CJAD 800.
All right, let me deal with this story. I think this is actually pretty cool. So if you're concerned about the environment, climate change, etc., several organizations here, environmental organizations, have launched, I believe this is Quebec's first ever, National Environmental It is called Volontaire, T-E-R-R-E, very clever. And the idea is to try to involve people who are concerned about this as volunteers. Let's try to find out more and go to the phone where we have Alain Branchot standing by. Alain, how are you?
Hi, Aaron. I'm fine.
So you are the executive director of SNAP Quebec. So what's SNAP Quebec?
SNAP is the Quebec chapter for the Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society, an organization that's across Canada, and we're involved since 1963. Our mission is really to protect the land across the country, protect habitats for species. That's our mission. Yeah.
You've been doing this since the 60s?
Not me.
No, not you, but I mean the organization.
The organization started in 1963. And in Quebec, the official date for the Quebec chapter is 2001.
Okay. So explain, who do care, want to get involved and didn't know or don't know where to go. This volunteer sort of organization that you're launching is wonderful. How will it work?
Yeah, so it's kind of the Tinder-like apps for those who want to be involved in volunteer work for the environment. on one side, you can register as a volunteer, and what kind of actions you would like to and be part of. And then on the other side, the environmental organizations or local groups, citizen groups who are involved in protecting the environment, they can also set up a profile. And once they have volunteer opportunities, they will set the same preference, and then there's a match between what the volunteer wants to do and what that specific opportunity is. And then if people want to receive a notification, they'll receive that by emails, or if they want, they can come often of the site to see the different opportunities for volunteer work. So by doing that, it's kind of a Tinder-like platform, and the idea is that it's so difficult for an organization to entertain a volunteer group because that covers all the year. So if we get together, we can offer a better menu for people who want to be involved. And again, a very important part of Volontaire Québec is that it's a two-way mobilization tool. We don't want that to be just for environmental organizations. We really want to have special event, workshop, potentially, different occasions for volunteers, so that there's a sense of getting together and be involved to make a difference for the environment.
First of all, I think this is a great idea. It's like swipe right for the environment. I think it's wonderful. I wonder, though, too, let's say you're someone who wants to get involved, but you don't have an area specifically of expertise or an area that you really want to focus on. You just want to do something. You would still be able to go on and you will match somebody to somebody else?
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes, some organization will want to get support for a petition. It's easy to do, and if you believe in that, that it's sent to a politician or whatever, and then sometimes we need people to go to do a plantation. Currently at SNAP, we're doing a tree plantation in Ile Sainte-Thérèse, just near Montreal, and so we need volunteers for that. Okay. You don't need to be an expert. If you have an expertise, then give back to the society, and you believe in protecting the environment, then that's an option too.
I wonder, so this organization that you mentioned, more people are getting involved on a regular basis in to do whatever they can, who realize that something needs to be done at some point. Have you found it hard up until now, before launching a project like this, to get so many people involved?
Yeah, and especially after COVID, what happened is that all our volunteer list went down because it was so difficult to involve, and there's Quebec has a nice portfolio of mobilization during its history. Remember the April 22nd Earth Day. 250,000 people in Montreal, marching for the planet. In September 27, 2019, with Greta Thunberg, 500,000 people walking to get more action on climate. And after these great mobilization, people felt a feeling of powerlessness. What's next? How can I be involved? With all this energy, I don't know where to go to. So Volunteer Quebec has the potential to be a remedy for this powerlessness feeling, a remedy against eco-anxiety, where people can act and do something. Potential to channel citizen energy into concrete action. So we really want that to be a success, and yeah, thanks for talking about it.
Alain, I have to go. Where can people go? Somewhere online real quick if they want to get more info on this.
Yeah, it's they can go to volunteer.quebec. So it's volontaire, VOLONRE.Quebec.
Okay, volunteer.quebec. And thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck. It's a great idea.
Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, 3:30. We have news coming up next.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. I'm Jason Mayall for the CTV News Update. Here's what's making news right now. The Bloc Québécois will come to the rescue of the Trudeau Liberals. Says his party will not support a conservative motion of no confidence. Conservatives need both the Bloc and the NDP to vote in favor for it to pass. Justin Trudeau may survive the vote, but he'll be losing a cabinet minister. Transport Minister Pablo Rodriguez is expected to announce tomorrow that he's quitting cabinet to run for the leadership of the Quebec Liberal Party. And rates for the first time in more than 4 years. The American rates by half a point. The Bank of Canada's next rate announcement is next month, after cutting rates by 3/4 of a point since June. For more news, including police investigating the suspicious death of a 5-year-old boy, go to ctvnewsmontreal.ca. From the CJAD 800 Traffic Center, here's Laura.
We are seeing delays now for northbound to Carrie. The volume starting Sherbrooke up to the top. Also delays southbound to Carrie starts at the top. It rolls all the way up to the Champlain. Westbound side of the 20, tough as well. Turcotte to Norman again between Ancien Combaton and Ile Perrot. On the westbound side of the Met, you're losing time there between Longueuil and Lac-Cordaire. We do have an accident. Westbound Met between P9 and DeCarry for northbound Laurentian. 40 up to St. Rose, and again between the 640 and Mirabel. On the westbound side of the Tecan, that is slower from Morgan out to the Illitor Bridge. Charge ahead with the all-electric Chevrolet Equinox EV, a vehicle you know, value you'd expect, and a dealer right down the street. Ready to go EV? Chevrolet's got you. Traffic and transit every 15 minutes on CJE. Porch at 3:45.
Your Dormez-vous Weather Center forecast, a mix of sun and clouds today, the high 28, partly cloudy tonight, the low 16, and a mix of sun and cloud again tomorrow, the high 28. It's 27 downtown. Your next CTV News update is at 4 o'clock.
Generations take on Master Chef and a gourmet. Master Chef Generations. Season finale tonight at 8 on CTV.
Radio today is iHeartRadio. The latest breaking news, insider commentary, and #1 podcasts. All free, all in one spot. With iHeartRadio, the news comes with you. And at home on your smart speaker with exclusive content, opinion, and interviews. So much more of what you love. Easy and free. Download the iHeartRadio app today.
Innovation, performance, craft. Principles behind the making of every Lexus, only fully understood through experience. Capture this feeling with lease rates as low as 0.9% for 24 months, including 2% event rate reduction. Plus, get up to $1,500 delivery credits on select models. Join us at the Lexus 5-day event from September 17th to 21st and make the experience your own. Reach out to your Lexus dealer now. Transat presents an overworked couple discovering what an afternoon appointment looks like down south.
Oh, can we deep dive into... Ooh.
And can we circle back?
That really pushes the envelope.
Relax into experience. Book your winter escape and save up to $1,500 with our promo and South packages for 2. Visit Transat.com or contact your Club Voyage professional. Conditions apply.
Best touch base ever.
Air Transat. Travel moves us.
At Unifree, we're smashing prices for our great anniversary sale. That's right. A sale of the year with great deals all throughout the store. Savings there, savings everywhere. On great brands like Lookie, Jameson, Tide, and CeraVe. And to celebrate in style, we've got a blowout contest for you with $20,000 in prizes to be won and a winner in every store. Don't miss out. Conditions apply at participating stores. Details at unifree.com. Same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos. Malcolm gets his accent right with Babbel's speech recognition.
Sur le point.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Right now, go to babbel.com/radio to get 60% off. That's BA/radio for 60% off.
color of our cars just like that, but they'll continue to rust. That's why Metropolitan Rust Proofing has developed a treatment perfectly adapted to our climate. In its service centers, all recommended by CAA Quebec, their experts provide the best protection and service to over 200,000 customers each year. Metropolitan Rust Proofing is the
ready to defend their championship title all season long on TSN 690. Catch every single bone-breaking hit, game-saving tackle, and highlight reel touchdown on the road or home on TSN 690. You'll never miss a play. It's going to be a flea flicker. Going. He's got it at the 30. Can he make it to the end zone? Touchdown, Montreal! Proudly brought to you by Securian Canada, the official life insurance partner of the CFL. From your home of the Owls, TSN 690. The electric revolution is here with the Kia EV6 GT from Mega Kia Brassard. Get up to $11,500 in price adjustment and grant. Offered with 2.49% financing for loyal Kia customers.
Mega Kia Brassard.
Crave is the home of groundbreaking HBO originals.
Well, they set up for the honest man to succeed.
Including The Penguin, starring Academy Award nominee Colin Farrell.
Gonna tear down the empire from the inside out.
Stream September 19th. Only on
What, baby? Come on. Mr. McGo. How can I help you? What's the matter?